here before.
No, Mother. You've never been here.
Then this is the very place the Lord has shown me, for it is familiar. We must have this place. The Lord has not given us this property for any common purpose.
It's an interesting story going back decades, but in 1990, when the Board of Trustees refocused Loma University as a health science university, we had a task force that redefined the mission of the institution. And along with agreeing that we were to continue the teaching and healing ministry of Jesus Christ, we, by doing that, also affirmed our motto, to make man whole. So as we thought about operationalizing that beyond the curriculum for the students, we said, what would it take to do that so that our student body, our faculty, our staff would themselves experience wholeness? So that was one stream of thought that motivated us to think outside the box. The other reality was that prior to 1990, the swimming pool for the university had been closed. It was beyond repair, and the promise had been made that we would have a new swimming pool. But the more we thought about both the current location at that time of the swimming pool and Gentry Gym, and our desire to have a much more comprehensive program, we said we need to investigate what that looks like at other institutions. So a cluster of us went and visited a number of different places, and the people that were involved with that were to become very critical in actually the planning and design of and the building of this facility. They included Don Pryor, who was raising money, which was a critical factor. We had no operational funds we could put into it. We needed to have donors for the entire complex. Don Pursley, who not only was committed to fitness from his own life experience and his work in the military, but also was our chief financial officer, and he would have to guide us in terms of the scope of what we could do and how to maximize all of the funds that we had raised. Another person who was very active was Gaines Partridge. Dr. Partridge was responsible for the co-curricular activities for the student body.
A lot of the credit for the Drayson Center goes to Dr. Behrens, then the president of Loma University, and Dr. Rock, who was the chairman of the board. In looking at the mission statement of Loma University, to make man whole, they realized that we didn't have the physical facility here to help us with the wholeness of our individual physical lives. And I can remember meeting in Dr. Barron's office when she said to a group of us, we really need to have a better physical facility. And Dawn Pryor and I looked at each other and we said, okay, Dr. Behrens, if that's what you would like to do, she was supported by the board, we'll go try to make that happen.
We talked about doing this in, I think, 3 phases, and because that's a lot of money to raise. And she came back later, Dr. Behrens, and said, I want to do it all at once. Wow. I said, okay. What do you think this is going to cost? And she and Don, they figured out it was going to cost somewhere around 15 million or so. And gave me a little range there, 15 to 20 million. And they said, is that possible? And I thought a little bit, and I said, well, it's possible if we can get a gift for half that amount, one lump sum, to kick the campaign off. We can raise the rest, but we're going to have a really nice, large gift. She said to me, do you have anybody in mind for that? Well, it just happened a few days before. Dr. Drayson and I had gone down to Palm Springs. He was the head of our counselors at that time. And we'd gone down to Palm Springs to raise some money for one of the doctors down there for one of the projects that the counselors had. And so I said, you know, I thought right away about him. And to make a long story shorter, we decided to go ahead with this project, and Dr. Drayson became a big part of this. We got half the gift, approximately half the gift, total gift, the cost of the project, from Dr. and Mrs. Ron Drayson. She was a big part of that gift. She was very involved, Mrs. Drayson, with the gift.
And the facility was constructed on time and within budget, and we had to start with some outstanding leaders of the facility. The first one, Bruce Pfeiffer, came in to head it up, and then he left and went to Oakwood University. Richard Hamilton then came in, and his untimely death, when that happened, it was an obvious choice for us to pick the current leader, which is Don Cease, which has done an outstanding job. And I, for one, attribute to the success of the Drayson Center the leadership and the staff which has put this thing together.
What will the next 25 years bring? God will take our efforts and multiply them beyond our wildest dreams.
We have nothing to fear for the future except as we shall forget the way the Lord has led us and His teaching in our past history.